On this video, you'll get familiar with Microsoft Project UI, what are each tab about, and what are the most important features of it. Towards the end of the series, on the video 4, I'll teach you how to create your first project on it and the common challenges that you face when creating and maintaining the tasks. Remember, this is the video 2 of a series of 5 videos all about Microsoft Project. If you have not seen the video 1, up here and you don't know exactly how a project is defined, I strongly recommend you to check out that video before to move on with this one here. Not knowing project concepts will make your life harder when trying to use Microsoft Project. Also, keep in mind all the time, Microsoft Project is not Excel and does not behave same way. Let's see the intro and get the class started. All of the things that I will quickly overview here, I will explain details on further videos of this series. The main tabs of this tool are File, Tasks, Resource, Report, Project, and View. Other tabs are Developer, Format, Design, and Engagement. This will appear or not appear depending on the things you open or the configuration you put on project. It's very easy to get lost on different project screens. If you ever get lost, go to Task tab and on the very first button, choose Gantt View. I'm realizing that I have another tab here called the Project Control. This tab I developed myself, coding in VBA for project. This tab combines both native project things and features that I created myself in order to expedite the way I was using my plans. So you're going to see along the other videos, I'm using this tab a lot and I'm gaining lots of time in avoiding to repeat things that I usually had to do manually. This tab automated several things for me. You guys are gonna love it. On the 5th video of the series, you guys will know how to download, configure and use this tab, okay? File tab. Mostly the place where you open, save, export, close projects and adjust the software parameters. This tab should not be a surprise to you, as in any other Office tool, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, this tab is just for these little things. But in project, they placed some configurations that you need for every single project of yours, and this stuff only exists here. So this tab can literally be the difference between your life being miserable or being a success if you know what to do in this tab. You guys are going to learn more about this tab on the next video. The Task tab. Here you'll find most of the common features to navigate through your project. You can also maintain the tasks through here, define a percentage, to mark the task, to change between manual and automated schedule. I will explain about this on further videos. You can create a task, a summary or a milestone. I will also talk about this. You can see information from the task. Clicking here, you see the details about that task itself. You can add notes. You can add it to timeline. Here is where you see several different types of views that project has. The most important one is the Gantt view. Here we also have the common copy and paste features. Play with the colors of your tasks, move inside, move outside, create quick dependencies, and etc. This is a quite straightforward tab for you to use along your project. Resource tab. Here is where you maintain the resources that will be assigned to your project, either human or assets. Here you can define names, calendar, cost, hour, type, and more. The resources that you create here will be retrieved in the Gantt view through the column resource names. This feature is also capable to make your life miserable, because depending on the resource you have for each task and depending on how you want to place your tasks in each point of time, date and hour, project may not obey you, may not put the tasks to start or to complete where you want. And why project may behave like that? Because some resources may have over allocation restriction. When I was preparing the file that I will be showing you guys on this class here, I did not experience a resistance from project to put the tasks where I want. But I have experienced that in other plans I have done in my professional career. So be aware that one of the reasons that the project is not obeying you maybe because of resources, okay? On the next video, the video 3, I will teach you how to configure a project as well as how to configure your resources. So don't worry about this now, you guys are gonna have a full video on about that. Report tab. A very complicated tab and dependent on several aspects to exist on your project. Remember when I mentioned you that this tool is very tight, very restricted? This tab will not work properly and will not give you any relevant value if you don't have all variables in place, if you don't configure your project properly. This tab is powerful and can grant you great information for tracking your project. The video 5 of this series will be completely about reports. Project tab. I don't understand why this tab is not at the very second or even the very first before file on project. This tab is the very first place you go when you are starting a new project. The very primordial configurations are on this tab and anywhere else in project. So why this tab is the fourth tab, I don't know, but it is the way it is. Here you can define the characteristics of your project, such as the calendar, days to work, hours to work a day, custom fields that you have and you will want to create some of them. You can link different project files, you can create sub-projects, you can set your baseline, you can recalculate all dates based on changes or delays, you can move the project based on changes on dates, you can find the WBS. If you don't know what is WBS, pause now, click on this link up here, go to the video 1 where I teach you the project management concepts. There I will teach you very clearly what is a WBS. It may be very useful for your plan. And this button here spinning, which is completely lost here. The View tab. This tab allows you to see projects from a variety of different angles. You won't see much value on this tab if you are not familiar to project management concepts. Again, if you don't know about the project management concepts, the video 1 is your best friend. One of the most popular views here is the network diagram, where you'll be able to see a logical sequence of all your tasks, how they are related one to another, their start and end date, their ID, their duration, and their complete percentage. If your project becomes too big, this view may not be interesting to you unless you collapse the groups. And why is that? Because as you could see on the screen, there will be one box for each task, and that box uses lots of visual space. So if you have more than 40 or 50 tasks, that will become like a completely full of mess and will not be useful for you, again, unless you collapse and see only like group level view, okay? So if you have several hundreds of tasks, better you either collapse to see groups instead of tasks, or don't use this view because it will be just too complicated for you to track on it. Here you'll also be able to highlight tasks based on a variety of criteria, including critical path, a range of dates, the type of the task, or even to which resource it's assigned. Same applies to filter, but pay attention to the difference between filter and highlight. If you go to highlight and apply your criteria, nothing will happen on your plan except that your criteria will be highlighted in light yellow. If you use filter and apply the same criteria, everything else will be kicked out of the view, and the only tasks, the only rows that you are going to be seeing will be the ones which your criteria is applying. Alright, got the difference? Highlight, highlights. Make the tasks in light yellow. Filter, kick everything out and only show the criteria you put on the filter. Okay? You can also adjust the zoom here in case your project is too big. This tool is really challenging, right? It didn't get its reputation of a complex tool out of nothing. It's really complicated to understand if you are not an experienced project manager. In my case, my PMP certification helped me a lot in understanding it. As coincidence or not, all of Microsoft project features exist as PMI best practice. Aren't you a subscriber yet? Come on, man. You made all the way until here. You are definitively liking it, right? The button is right here, just waiting for you to click and give me a tremendous help toward growing my little channel. Ready to see some action? Here on the screen, you may be seeing already the link to the video 3, right here on the right side, and here on the left side, the video 1, just in case. This is like a Netflix. Whole series come at once. Click on it right now and let's start configuring your project from scratch and your resource list. See you on the next video.